Hi, I'm Alex. Welcome to my channel. And today I'll be talking about my minimalization journey and the kind of addiction to stuff that I've been finding along the way, which is really interesting process to observe. So I suppose this is a bit of a progress video on how I'm on my kind of downsizing. So a while ago, maybe a couple of months ago, I decided to go full on minimalist. And I've been playing with the idea of minimalism for a bit. So for a few years actually, I have like this capsule wardrobe that I've been doing for good maybe 3 years now. And I've been trying to kind of be on top of not having too much stuff, which I realized recently I've not been quite as successful. So I found myself a couple of months ago being really overwhelmed with a lot of different things with work, etc., but also really overwhelmed with things. I just started to feel like, oh my God, I just have too much things. And I make the whole video about why I decided to go to become minimalist. And yeah, I guess this is a little bit of a progress video. So the way I've been approaching minimalizing, I've kind of started to clear off, the most kind of useless or unused items that I have, to kind of, the stuff that I kind of like, but it's difficult to give up, and then to give up some things that I believe are necessary, but really aren't. And there are different techniques, I guess, to do that. Some people recommend, just getting really cold turkey, packing up all your stuff and then unpacking all the what's necessary and getting rid of the rest. I guess that's very radical method. I've been much more gentle with myself, so I've been kind of cleaning up in waves, and I have developed almost an addiction to getting rid of stuff, which is interesting as well. So like I keep on finding more and more stuff to declutter, and I've got rid of maybe 30% of stuff so far. So I'm at this kind of stage when I get rid of all the clutter and stuff that were unnecessary and I didn't really, objects that I sort of didn't engage with very much, to getting rid of some stuff that I felt, well, I can live without. That included also a lot of clothes, some tableware, which I thought, oh, I need to have for dinners and whatever. So I kind of stripped it quite a bit now. Some art suppliers, I kind of gave up quite a bit of art suppliers because I thought, well, I'm not really using it. I just keep the necessities. Books, I got rid of a lot of books. So I've done quite a few waves of getting rid of stuff. And I've noticed recently that kind of slowed down a little because as I said, I cleared enough to kind of feel, okay, most of the stuff that I have now are necessities, but actually when I go around looking at what I have, there is still a lot of necessary junk, which made me think, about this whole addiction to stuff, right? So, things that I keep because I may need in the future, the useful cables, for example. Cables are, I'm trying to downsize cables and electrical equipment, so all the chargers and whatever. And, you only need, there's maybe like 3 types of cables that I really need, other than the equipment that I really do use day to day. Of photos, I have quite a bit. I do a bit of photography, so I have some photos that I keep, they precious to me. Also clothes that I like, and that I do sort of wear, but I feel right now, well, it's not in my wardrobe, but I may use them again soon. And this is already the cleared out version. This is not the clothes that I think I may use but actually never will. Those are actually clothes that I like, that fit me, that I could potentially be wearing, and I may do, but I feel there is still some clothes that I haven't really worn or made use that much, and I could minimalize further. So it's a really interesting point that I'm at with my clearing out journey, because now I'm coming to the point where I have the dilemma and the grasping of I will need this stuff, um, so I'm wondering, yeah, I'm trying to kind of explore different mindsets of, letting go of those things, basically, really seeing, really trying to see behind that need of keeping stuff for later, and seeing that, what, okay, I may need something like that similarly in the future, but actually stuff is really easy to get. And in fact, it's more easy to get stuff than it is to get rid of it. Not buying new things. And interesting thing that I also observe, and that's very much to do with books and decorative objects, which I really like. Beauty is important, and aesthetics are important to me. So I have some books that I have quite strong attachment to because they are pretty books. I spend money in it, on it, and they held some sentimental value to me, and I do like it. And it's gonna be difficult to let go of those books. But what I have been realizing while I was already getting rid of some of books like that is that, well, it's interesting to look back and think, well, I spent money on those things because I thought they will be important, and now I'm getting rid of that stuff, which makes me think about how I'm gonna shop in the future, and what kind of items I'm going to buy, and how to stick to buying necessities rather than pleasure objects, I suppose. So again, there is this, it's an interesting tension there. Getting rid of stuff. I'm just looking at my jewelry rack, and I have necklaces and some earrings that I like to keep because I wear it every now and then, but really, or they have sentimental value, and I really like the design. But I guess the question for me is then, what is the minimalist way, and how little necklaces do I need to feel happy versus, and I don't have a lot. There's maybe 10 necklaces, and some of them, those include the ones that I wear regularly. So it isn't a huge amount of stuff, but I'm thinking, well, what else could I get rid of? This is my question right now. This is my progress, which is, what else can I get rid of? And it started to be more from, and I moved kind of more from removing en masse into kind of cherry picking now the things that I feel, well, I could give that up, and then making the next step into the next objects and thinking, okay, I could give that up. So I suppose it's now a process of just further disattaching myself from objects. I realize this video is very, very chaotic. Maybe I'm kind of thinking through all this stuff as I talk, but nonetheless, I think what I want to say is that it's difficult. Stuff is difficult to give up. It's really difficult. I'm finding it, well, difficult and fascinating to observe how little, not how little, yeah, how difficult it is to give up stuff, and not just about the stuff, but the idea of stuff. The idea of, well, if I give up this necklace, then I'm not gonna have this necklace for some outfit, or all the pretty books that I bought, and now I have to give them back. And, some of them were expensive maybe. So there is also, the material value attached, and, why I would give it away. I could sell it, but then it's the hassle of selling it and getting the money. The books are, I feel books and clothes are not that easy to sell unless they really, for example, with clothes, quite expensive bits. So it's interesting. I don't know if this video isn't going to be totally chaotic, but this is the download of my mind right now with this kind of minimalist progress. So I guess maybe it's more video from myself to see, in few months' time, actually what I struggled with giving up stuff, and how where I get to when I get rid of more of those things, right? And yeah, having the kind of dilemma of how minimalist do I really want to go? That's what constitutes the bare necessity versus what constitutes having stuff. So I'll leave you with this thought. Have a think about yourself, I guess. Have a think about, what are the things you find easy to give up, and what are the things that you would struggle to keep? How much stuff you carry around that actually is dead weight, really. Yeah, and I'll encourage you to explore some of that for yourself. I think it's an interesting thought experiment, clearing out your stuff. So yeah, I'll leave it with that. I hope you enjoyed this video to some degree. If you do, please subscribe or give me a like. Also, comment and let me know your thoughts. Yeah, and and I'll talk to you on another video. Thanks.